Got a long path. We'll get into you in a minute. Well, I'll let you
no.
explain yourself because you've done a few things.
Okay.
So yeah, I've done a little small intro. My background is in, Super Smash Bros. I played competitively for quite a few years, and I got into event hosting about 10 years ago. And in that time, I started, really enjoying networking with communities and getting people together. And I've had a lot of really awesome experiences meeting people from various games, whether it was Smash Bros. Or Splatoon or Street Fighter or Mario Kart. And I've been blessed to be supported by a lot of different communities in Calgary, where I'm from, and I've also spent some time in Lethbridge helping and being part of their scenes as well. And that's just my past. I'll hand it over to Victor here. What do you got going on?
I'm trying to get our fourth guest in here. So sorry, don't mind me.
That's okay. Yeah.
I will talk though. So I am the other co-founder for the Alberta Esports Association. I've been up here at Edmonton running events for the last 15 years. What started in local libraries have grown to become tournaments with 400 plus players. And those of you may recognize me from my time with Animathon as well as one of their gaming leads to put together all the awesome events and stage programming at Animathon Gaming Hall. And so at the start of this year, Brad and I, being the two big esports tournament organizers in Alberta, we got together to form the Alberta Esports Association, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to delivering these events, working with our communities, fostering healthy communities and collaboration, and ensuring that all of our events meet a certain level of excellence. So we have an incredible team of volunteers with professional skill sets across the board who have come in to lend their talents. So we have Tina here, and she'll introduce herself afterwards, but we have human resources professionals, media professionals, esports athletes and professionals within the space, including local talent who are helping us build this up. So we're super excited. I've been working with or supporting Extra Life Edmonton in particular for the last several years when we were doing events in West Ed. And so this was our first opportunity to do a digital 24-hour fundraising tournament. So on our end, and you can see that through the Edmonton Extra Life Discord, we have a bunch of tournaments happening for Edmonton and a bunch of tournaments happening for Extra Life Calgary for the next 24 hours. So please, if you're interested in checking out their tournament finals and some community panels, you can check out our Twitch stream at Esports Alberta, and we'll be doing it from noon to noon.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess let's drop in and give Tina a chance to. We've glossed over her a couple times now. So Tina, who are you? Why are you here?
Oh boy. Hi, I'm Tina. I currently do social media for T1 Esports, or formerly known as SKT-T1. And previously before that, I worked with G2. So yeah, I get paid to post memes every day. On a more serious note, I started with a lot more with Hearthstone Esports, a lot more community management, Twitch moderation, stuff like that. Kind of worked around Hearthstone and OWL for a long time before getting the opportunity to work with G2. So these days I focus a lot on posting, growing Western audiences for these growing NA and Western audiences for these organizations and stuff like that. Yeah. At least with AESA, I help with social media where I can, as well as just PR, bits and pieces of whatever I can to help grow the association.
Well, perfect. That's a great response there. And we've also brought in Jordan, our human resources professional, just as a fourth slide in here, sneaking into the panel.
Hello, everyone.
Did you want to introduce yourself just a little bit here, Jordan, just to say who you are and what you do?
Sure. My name's Jordan. I go by the gamertag Alethea. I've been a part of the greater Edmonton Smash community for about 7 years now. And I joined AESA as a human resources executive. So a big portion of what I do is related to code of conduct, policies and procedures, content panel hearings, developing training programs for all of our TOs, our internal staff, that's just off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a bit more, but it kind of got thrown in here, so
Yeah.
a bit winded.
I'm happy to sing Jordan's praises. Jordan has been the glue that keeps us moving, keeps us going and make sure that we're doing everything very professionally, very well. And, while me and Victor will stand at the front and scream all the hype, Jordan's the one that goes, okay, let's do this the proper way. Let's make sure everything continues going so we can keep doing this years from now, not just today. So there's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes that doesn't really get a lot of credit. So Jordan is a huge help in that regard.
Yeah, that's a distinction for the AESA team as a whole as well. We have a huge team of volunteers, all bringing professional talent and experience and skills from other industries into our space. And we're very lucky to have people within the esports industry like Tina, and we have a professional esports coach named Zeke on our team as well, who provide a lot of guidance with our vision and to reach our goals. So we're so thrilled to have such an awesome team and to be to be collaborative and supportive of teams like Extra Life. It's pretty amazing.
And I think that's the amazing opportunity that we can kind of present is that AESA, the Alberta Esports Association, is really a collaborative effort brought together by everybody. I mean, we wouldn't be here without the support of teams and partners like Extra Life Edmonton, Extra Life Calgary. We have a lot of people in our team that have a lot of backgrounds in participating in Extra Life. And I mean, even on our own level, we have communities. I think we're up to like 21 or something communities that are actively involved in esports across Alberta. Whether it's Edmonton, Calgary, Grant Prairie, Red Deer, Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, the list goes on, and they're all people that are interested in wanting to get involved with esports or already are, that are really, really supportive and really helpful and do good things for their communities. So we're very lucky to have everyone on board in that sense.
A great example too is, in particular, is Kristen Q, who's our health and wellness exec on our team. She's a licensed occupational therapist. And she works with our partner sports and counseling psychologists to ensure to deliver the health and wellness initiative to ensure that all of our players have the resources necessary to be healthy and to compete at their best. And so this is a bit of a plug for our stream, but if you're interested, at 10 o'clock tonight, 10 p.m., Kristen is leading a workshop panel with Matt and Alexandra, who are two sports and counseling psychologists, and they're going to be talking about healthy mindsets and mentalities for gamers. So if you ever have problems getting angry, rage quitting, throwing your controller, smashing your keyboard or whatever it might be, they'll be able to provide some professional insight onto how best to deal with those and to cope with those emotions, especially for competitors in the esports space where you're having fun and you're competing, but you're also competing in a competitive environment. So you need to be able to set healthy goals and to deal with losses in a responsible and healthy way. So if that's interesting to you, definitely check them out at 10 o'clock. But
I can't stress enough. Gamers playing for 24 hours is not good for your hands. Talk to them. They've got resources to help you protect your hands long term, so you're not damaging the goods.
Mm-hmm. Hand health, sleep hygiene, mental health, and every little bit. So we're so thankful to have them on our team and for them to provide the professional insight in that way. Yeah. So I want to take some time too, because at the end of this panel, for the last about 30 minutes, we're going to be shifting over to the grand finals of our Puyo Puyo Tetris tournament. One of my favorite games to watch. Puyo Puyo Tetris, if you haven't seen, it's Puyo Puyo and it's also Tetris combined. And if you've seen amazing Tetris players or amazing Puyo Puyo players, you'll know what I mean by it's just this incredible experience to see top players play a game as complicated as this, and we have them queued up and ready to go as soon as we're done talking. But I do want to just provide a little bit of insight to kind of esports in Alberta and where we've kind of grown from then until now. So when we first started, early in the mid 2000s, Brad and I first started doing our own events. We were running it in local libraries, in our parents' basements, and that's how we met. And we started to bring people across the province to start competing in some of our tournaments. And over those 15 years, we've grown to have tournaments that have 400, 500, upwards to 800 people coming through the door to compete and to participate. And esports gets a really bad rep in that it's just all about, people who only care about winning, the sweats, as they say, like the tryhards. But our experiences with esports are further from the truth. Of course, we'll have people who are really passionate about winning, like you would in traditional sports or any other competitive environment. But the key takeaway is the community aspect for it. The best parts about our tournaments is everyone who hangs out afterwards to play games together after the tournament's over, to go grab food together, which seems like a distant memory now. And the whole capacity for us to actually do these events is because we lean on the communities. There's this fostering community here that needs support at a grassroots level, and so that's what we're providing. We're not just delivering events. We're providing initiatives, workshops, community support, capacity building to help all these student groups and grassroots communities across the province flourish in a healthy way. And when we do these big provincial events, just like Extra Life Game Day, we have all these communities showing up, and we have about 124 competitors fundraising for us right now, and we couldn't be happier. So that's a little bit about us and our history.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you want to add anything else, guys? Guys and gals?
I mean, I think that in a sense we kind of come from a background of being really involved from a player perspective, and I think everyone can safely say that we're really into the games that we're representing. This is a passion project, right? We've put in the hours and time we needed to really learn and understand and play a lot of these games, and that just brings us to a natural point of wanting to get involved from an organizational perspective, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've made our closest friends, including our whole team. We've met through the community and through esports and through gaming, and that's our approach. Everyone, when they think of esports, they think of the big stadiums, they think of billions of dollars, blah blah blah. But before we can even talk about getting to that point, we need to have sustainability and grassroots growth, which is what we're trying to provide at a provincial level.
So is there anything? Is there anything in particular we wanted to get out as a message today, Victor, in terms of our relation to Extra Life, what we're doing, anything that we've got going on?
Yeah, so we have about 5 minutes before we have to jump here, so we can end this by just saying we're going to be streaming all 24 hours. We're running about 12 plus different tournaments on our stream. We're streaming all of their finals. So especially if you like Puyo Puyo Tetris, you can tune into all the other finals that are happening throughout the day on twitch.tv/esportsalberta. You can follow us on social media at Esports Alberta. Tina's the gal behind that. You can follow all of our news and updates and memes, and keep involved. The next event that we have, for those of you who are interested, is our ACAC Collegiate Esports Kickoff. So this is big news for us to share as well, but a few weeks ago we partnered with the Alberta Colleges Athletic Conference, which is the governing body for all college athletics and sports within Alberta, to take the first steps in incorporating esports into the collegiate level. And so then we're partnered by extension with 17 post-secondary institutions and colleges across Alberta to deliver this esports kickoff event to get esports into the college space. So if that's something that's interesting to you, if you're a college player who wants to participate and see college esports grow, you can check out smash.gg/ACAC kickoff. That's our next event on November 21st. And it's free to enter for all ACAC students. So if you're a student at any of these colleges, you can enter and participate for free. And that will be our next event.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, and I really thoroughly, if you're at all, even the
let me show the belt. I'll give the sneak peek while you talk.
Yeah. I knew you were going to do this. The thing that I have to iterate is, if you're interested in esports at all, regardless of whether it's a viewer, whether it's a contender, whether you just want to take part, even if it's casually, it is really for everyone. It is something that people can benefit from in any perspective, and I mean, we're using it today to help sick kids. So I do want to encourage you to get involved, and even just give us a shout if there's something you want us to work on, or if there's something that you want to see done within esports in terms of Alberta or just anywhere. Let us know. We want to make that an initiative that we work on. We want to work on doing good within the space, and we want to make sure that we're promoting what people want in esports. So please, reach out to us, get involved, whether it's a watcher, a viewer, a player, even just telling your family. My mom will send me newspaper clippings of game news when it comes out. So for sure, anybody can get involved.
Yeah,
sick belt though.
It is sick though. I think an important thing to to talk about with esports is it is very, very accessible. Like especially especially in like developed countries like ours, like it's very easy to have an internet connection. It is very easy to find a Fortnite kid, streaming or Ninja, and it's not hard to get involved, especially on the local level. And so if you're someone with big dreams of wanting to be a big esports star or you want to work in this sort of industry, like a lot of people start local. So it's totally worth to take the time to learn more about about the tournaments and TOing and what's going on in your scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or even again, we'll help you start one. If you can't find one, we'll show you where it is, or we'll help you start.
We've had the Puyo Puyo Tetris community just started on a whim. I thought this game would be cool, so I ran it, and now there's this big player base that has grown organically around this game. And the craziest things is we don't actually have any big Valorant or League of Legends teams that we partner with. It's very fragmented. So if someone wants to take lead in kind of organizing that group, you'll be the first to really do that. And it's just sitting there waiting for someone to step up and take lead there. So. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of indicative of the Wild West landscape for esports right now. Everyone's running events. There's no governance. There's no infrastructure in place, and there's no support or pathways, as Tina mentioned, for professional players and for talent on the production side, on the media side, on the marketing side, to have pathways forward within this industry. So that's another responsibility and role that we're providing as the Alberta Esports Association, is facilitating those pathways for everyone within the province. Okie doke. So we have 40 minutes left. We can segue this into our Puyo Puyo Tetris Grand Finals. We have myself and Tin of Salsa casting, and we have T-Block, one of the grand finalists, one of the best Puyo Puyo Tetris players in the world, whose hometown here in Edmonton. He's actually down in Silicon Valley right now working for Google because he's big brain, and you'll understand why when you see him play. And we're excited to kick that off. So if you don't mind us, we'll transfer over to the gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, and I can't say Mike T-Block is actually a monster.
Oh my God.
It is insane.
I cannot wait for this. If you remember Animathon from last year, Puyo Puyo Tetris got the crowd going, that's for sure.
Hey y'all, can you hear me? Thanks for the slightly inaccurate intro, but thank you anyway.
Oh, correct me, Mike. You're a
I'm definitely not. So I'm definitely not top in the world. I try. I'm playing a lot. But
so humble.
Just so you know, everyone watching who's not as familiar with the scene, the ceiling is really high here. And I mean, depends how you define top in the world, right? There's not that many players playing this game, unfortunately, but there are very many people who are multiple tiers above what you're about to see, but hopefully it's entertaining nonetheless. How's the feed? Is it okay?
It looks good, Mike.